This video has been brought to you by NordVPN, the best VPN available. Head over to nordvpn.com/Domics and use the code Domics to save 77% off a 3-year plan. I'm sorry, Gigi. All right, hello everyone. This is gonna be a different episode. It's not really a hypothetical. We just felt like talking, you know. I'm here in California right now. We're staying at Jamom's place, and it made me remember some things of like what it was like to live at home or growing up Asian, I guess. I'm here today, joined by a couple friends.
Hello, I am Claire.
And I'm Elboy.
This is Jom.
I'm sure we all have no slippers in the house.
No slippers?
Sorry, no shoes.
No shoes.
No shoes, always slippers.
Yes.
Yeah, do you have that basket of slippers at the front door?
Yep. When people come over, we always offer slippers. There's just an abundance of slippers.
My issue with slippers is I end up walking outside a lot on accident with them on, so it defeats the purpose of having slippers. It's like, oh, I gotta get my mail, it's outside, and I don't think about it, I just walk out, and then it's like, well, now my slippers are dirty. What different are they?
Now these are outdoor slippers permanently.
Do you ever have white friends that go to bed with shoes on?
You actually knew people.
Yeah, I had friends do that. First, I was visiting his house, and he just laid down on his bed with his shoes.
Why though? This
So dirty.
it's like what's the urgency that you need to have your shoes on at all times?
But it's like the opposite for them. It's like if I come into the house and I try to take my shoes off, they're like, no, just keep your shoes on, dude. And I probably feel safer that way anyways if I wear my shoes in there.
From an Asian family, we don't really do allowances. I never understood that.
I didn't either.
Like when my friends were
Same.
like, yeah, I get like $100 a week. Like for doing what? You know, for existing. Like, I asked my parents, why don't we get allowance? They didn't know what that meant. I was like, what's an allowance?
I got allowance.
Oh my god.
What?
But the trade-off was I had to do all the chores in the house.
So you're just getting paid.
But my allowance was like $3 a week.
Oh.
that was my allowance.
That's child labor. That's child labor.
One of my main methods of gaining money as a kid was when I picked white hair from my parents' heads.
What?
And then they
too,
gave
yeah.
me money for each one I plucked out.
How much did you get?
It started off like a quarter for a hair, and then went down to like 10 cents and 5 cents, and then went down to just like a penny. And then they got older, and obviously they got more hair, and then they realized, oh, this is not a good model because I'm gonna get bald. So then they just started dyeing their hair, and they don't. Food eating etiquette, yes.
I mean, what you just learned with John's mom, right? Like, if you eat real fast, they'll be like, "Oh, you must really like the food," so they just like dump more food on your plate, and then you're just like sitting there full. Exactly. Yeah. So the trick is you just eat really slow.
I learned now.
Yeah, we usually just have like a bowl of rice or whatever, and we have like all the side dishes in the middle. No one's gonna force you to like get more rice or like get more of this. If you're done, you're done.
Yeah, and Koreans, like, they will keep feeding you until like they're tired. It's not a question like, do you want more? It's like, oh, you want more, and they just give it to
the
you.
do is silent in your sentences.
Just for my family, I don't know about you guys, but every time when I have a friend who invites me for like dinner, like parents are always like, oh, you have to bring something nice, you know, bring this wine bottle that we've been like saving up for like the past 5 years.
Yeah, I invited you to I think it was the New Year's dinner, and then you brought, what was that, like the bird's nest?
Yeah, I don't even know what it is. Apparently it's supposed to be really healthy.
The bird spit soup thing.
Yeah, like you gave it to my parents. The instructions were in Chinese. They're like, we don't know how to eat this. I'm like, okay, I'll ask Claire. And you're like, I don't know how to eat this either.
My
So
parents
that's
just
your
told me
parents.
to hand this over, and I did.
Yeah, your mom makes a lot of leftovers, and that's like the mindset my family grew up with. Like, we always either make too much food because they want to bring it for lunch, like to work the next day. We call it baon. I don't like wasting food. That's why we have a term for when there's like a little bit of food left and you gotta eat it clean. It's called simot.
I mean, kill it.
Yeah, kill it to the speck.
There's like a Chinese saying, like, every speck of rice in your bowl is like, that's gonna be on your lover's face or something.
Lover's face? Why?
Or your like husband's or your wife's face. Like, it'll like turn into something bad.
So if you don't finish your food, your wife becomes ugly?
Yeah, like something like that. Yeah.
Because it's generally known that Filipinos have like flat-ish noses. So like when every morning, like instead of just saying like wake up, my mom would just walk into my room and just pinch the bridge of my nose. I'm like, what's happening?
I was like Captain America, super soldier serum all the time. I had a new liquid, a new pill all the time. Every morning she would like pat my legs down and stretch my legs out, try to make me as long as possible. And I'm the tallest person in my family, so.
And it worked.
Like, did you guys have to take the Chinese medicine stuff? Like, you go to like the old Chinese doctors. They have a bunch of drawers with like deer antlers and bugs, and they're like, and then you go there, you're like, I want my kid to be taller. They're like, all right, I got you. And then they'll like get all this like weird stuff, make a drink.
A potion?
Yeah, like they'll make a potion. And it tastes
liquid,
disgusting.
liquid chimera, basically.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Oh,
I didn't
it's-
go through that either. Oh
We
my
call it
God.
hanyak. I think like Koreans are obsessed with medication that makes you taller.
I guess that's true, because like all the Koreans in my high school in Freedom like were super tall. I was in between two Koreans, Pak and Park. Pak and Park. Yeah, so I was like in between them, and like freaking graduation, it was just like a tall ass Korean, and then me, and then like another tall ass Korean. What about clothes?
My mom always just steals my clothing, especially because we're like about the same height. Like I would just go home like after, I don't know, university. I have like a month off and I visit, go into my closet, find like 10 things missing, and I look over at my mom and she's like wearing the exact sweater that I wanted to wear.
Does she do the thing where it's like when she's buying you a gift, she's buying it with the intent that she's gonna wear it too?
You guys have to like do tutors and stuff.
Tutor? Well, I did Kumon.
Where I grew up, pretty much every kid had a tutor every day, and it's like for every subject.
If everyone has a tutor, what's the point of going to school?
There is no point in going to school. We learn so much more.
But then all the teachers at school are like, man, you guys are so smart.
Yeah, the teacher's like, oh man, all these kids are so smart. It's like, no, we just have a lot of tutors helping.
No, I just go to school twice.
We had like math tests and stuff, right? This is back in China. And I think I got like a 96. And then my mom was visiting from Canada and the teacher called me out and had a meeting with my mom. And she's like, so this is your daughter's grade. And then my mom looks at it. It's like a 96. And she's like, oh, this is pretty good. And she's like, nah. That's the lowest mark in our class.
That's the lowest mark.
Frick.
You get like the, we had like that check mark system. You get like a check mark or a check plus, check minus.
Oh,
Yeah, like that's it. And then if you get the check minus, it's like devastating. You're like, oh no, I'm doing bad.
A minus. Let me just edit that into a plus. You guys get hit?
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't get
Only in
hit.
China though. Oh, you're lucky.
I didn't get hit. I got hit verbally, and that was like,
I got both.
They made us write letters of apologies, like if you get sent to the principal's office.
I wonder if like principals that actually read that.
Mine definitely did because he would read it and then he would like show us our mistakes as we're writing. And I was like, oh.
So they critique your apologies. Like,
Yeah, he's
"Damn,
like,
I'm already
he's
sorry,
like, you
man.
spelled this wrong.
Take the damn apology. Holy crap.
There was this one time in high school, I was in my social studies class or something like that, and I was just sitting there. It was a really boring class. And then Gabe kicks the door open, right? And he, my friend Gabe, he kicks the door open, and he's like, ma'am, I need John right now. So she looked at him like, okay. Or he's like, what do you need him for? And he's like, it's an emergency. So then I walked out the door. I was like, dude, Gabe, what's wrong? Did something happen? What's wrong? And he's like, dude, I just got you out of class. Isn't that sick? I was like, oh, fuck. And then like we just left, and then we just went to go hang out to school's over. When you go to a school, you know how you have to give them your contacts, like your parents or whatever, who to call when there's an issue. And I just put my grandpa. So then, because he can't speak English.
Wow.
There was a point where my friend's mom called me in the middle of like the night. I'll call him Andrew
Or Randy.
or Randy. His mom called me in the middle of the night, and she was smart about this. She called me on Andy's cell phone. She took his cell phone and called me. I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And she's just crying. She's like, she would just tell me stuff like, "Oh, my son is doing bad in the school because you're the bad friend, and I don't want him to talk to you." And I'm just like, "Oh my god!" Like she's like, "Promise me you will not talk to my son anymore." And I was like, what? Like, I didn't know what to say. I've never been in this situation where a mom called me and called me a piece of shit and said that I can't hang out with somebody else. Like, Jesus Christ. I didn't know what to do. I'm pretty sure me and Randy had to hang out, like, secretly or something. I don't know.
Dude, it's like Romeo and Juliet, dude.
Randy, let down your hair. I can't. My mom bowl cut me.
I think for like me, like a lot of my friends, they had a ban on relationships, especially during high school. Their parents were like, you cannot have a boyfriend or girlfriend.
They should have just been like, you can't see your girlfriend unless you get an A. And then you'd be like, okay.
Yeah, that's the better incentive.
Yeah, like if you get an A, like I'll drive you.
I'll pay for your date tonight. Like, I don't know if it was my first or my second girlfriend, but I remember I told my dad, and he's like, oh, you have a girlfriend? How many? And I was just like,
How many?
yeah, they were just like, date as much as you can now, because then you'll learn and you won't make stupid mistakes later when you're an adult. When I grew up, I obviously wasn't the smartest student, and my family was always worried about that. But they kind of got over it. But my grandparents never got over it. And there was this one time where I released an animation It was Ice Cream 2 back in like 2009 or something, right? And it was the first time I ever got paid for an animation. I got $100 from stickpage.com, and back then that was like $1 million to a kid, right? I was like, holy crap, I can make money doing this.
You can buy some new bones.
I could buy some new bones. But then my grandpa pulled me aside one night and he's like, hey John, I think it's cool that you like to draw these weird stick people, but I don't want you taking money from the internet because that's blood money. And it's like, you have to get a real job, you have to work with your own hands, you have to hard labor. But once my mom saw it, she was like, holy crap, this is what you're doing this whole time? I thought you were just dumb. It's like, go ahead, keep doing this.
Actually, what I thought was interesting is like I went to some art schools and stuff. I would always like notice like there's 9 girls for every 1 guy or something. And I remember I talked about it with my mom. She's like, you'll notice that none of the guys are Asian. I was like, why? And then she just straight up tells me like, Asians never let their kids become artists, especially if they're male. And then she tells me these stories. So like parents, like they would like break their kids' crayons and stuff. Like if they found their kid drawing, they would immediately crush all their dreams as fast as they could. Yeah, like literally crush all their supplies and like stop them, and then like they give them like math problems to do or something. I don't know.
Have you guys ever been bullied for being Asian in your school, like racist kids?
Nope.
Nope. Oh, you freaking
Yeah,
all
like,
Asian
they're all
school.
Asians.
I think what was the one where it was like Chinese, Japanese,
Yeah.
something knees.
They did that
I don't
to
know.
me, and I'm just like, what?
I'm like, I'm Filipino. In high school, I was like walking home from a friend's house. I'm just walking by this house that's garage is open, and a bunch of these little like boy white kids in the garage, and then they look at me and they're like, "Go back to the railroad." And I'm like, "What the? I'm not even Chinese." Like I didn't contribute to that. It took me a while to process what they meant, but I knew it was racist.
That's all you.
Yeah, like it felt racist. Like
Yeah, I think people made fun of my accent because I used to have a Chinese accent when I first came to Canada.
yeah, me too.
But like that was about it.
Dude, don't even worry about it. I slipped and I was born here, speaking English all my life.
I don't really practice Tagalog at home. So when I went to the Philippines, instead of speaking Tagalog, I just started speaking English with a Filipino accent. So I try to that's how I try to blend in. Did you get a Korean name even though you were born here?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, it's decided by your grandparents, usually. Well, like, if you get really traditional, you go to a fortune teller and they assign you a syllable
A
for
syllable.
the generation of
Your
males.
second syllable is.
Yeah, like, basically, like...
Wait, how do you say park in Korean accent?
I think it's just pack. I don't know
So
why.
it's
they put
another one
R
of
there.
variances like pack.
Yeah. Like, mine is like Lee, but there is no L in the Korean enunciation. It's just E. Like,
This is random, but I forgot to mention it earlier. In the getting hit part, there was one time my mom got really mad at me and tried to throw a shoe, and then she missed and hit my brother.
So she you can cash that in later. You know what I didn't have as a kid? Security on the internet. That Nigerian prince still hasn't gotten back to me after all these years. But hey, if you guys want a peace of mind while you're on the web, check out NordVPN. Easy and simple, best VPN out there. VPNs are a great way to protect your privacy and security online, allowing you to surf the internet anonymously with absolutely no data logging using military-grade encryption. With its thousands of servers in over 60 countries, its lightweight and user-friendly interface, you can virtually be wherever you please with NordVPN. Being in the US at this moment, it's very convenient for me to access all of my Canadian sites as if I'm still back home, and I feel safe doing it too. But it's not only for Canada. I want the internet to think I'm in Italy? Done. Head north a little bit, I'm in Sweden. Hong Kong? They've got that too. Super fast servers protect up to 6 devices at once, available on Android, iOS, Windows, and macOS. Not sure if you like it? No worries, you have 30 days to get your money back guaranteed. Once again, that's nordvpn.com/Domics with the code Domics for 77% off a 3-year plan. That's $275 a month, my dude. Enjoy!